Hey, I am so excited to be diving in with you today, all about this topic on how to use your intuition to create high vibe content. So, if you have ever wondered before, like how some people can just create content that just seems to resonate with everyone. It's like being filled in the comments section. It's being shared on so many people's stories. And you can also just feel the love in it as well. And I can tell you that a lot of that comes down to being really tapped into your intuition, really tapped into your purpose, and so many other things. So that's why in this episode right now, I'm going to be discussing with you what intuition is, how you can develop it, as, a feminine being, as a business owner, how to link it all together, and just how you can create content that uplifts and inspires others. Get ready to elevate your content and unlock your creative potential with Content and Chill, the juicy but feminine podcast that'll guide you on how to repurpose your content with intention and purpose so you can work smarter, not harder, as the powerful feminine being that you are. I'm Schild, a content repurposing creatrix, and I am passionate AF about all things content. I have created hella pieces of content over my 3 years in business between my own platforms and the dozens of clients that I've served. I've done the juicy work for you to share my own experiences and insights with the help of some fabulous guests to dive deep into the magical aspects of content creation and repurposing that will leave you feeling inspired and ready to ignite your own inner content creatrix. From turning your blog posts into ebooks and to transforming your videos into meditations, each episode will guide you how to discover how to infuse your feminine flow and tap into your intuition as a powerful tool for creating high vibe content that not only resonates with your audience, but also feeds your soul. We're about to jump right into the episode, so grab your favorite beverage, light up a delicious smelling candle, and get ready to content and chill with me. So, as a creator and as a feminine being, it is really important to recognize that you have access to an incredibly powerful source of energy. And that source of energy is your intuition. So, if you are unsure about what your intuition is, it's essentially like a gut feeling that arises within you without any explanation for how to describe why you're getting that feeling. Like it simply just is your intuition. You just have that a gut feeling that something is right or something isn't right. It's like an inner knowing that just guides you to make certain decisions in your life. So you might be wondering, okay, well, how does that have anything to do with being a business owner and with creating content? But essentially, when we are creating content, I want you to think about it as in its purest form, you are expressing yourself. And your intuition is what helps you then tap into that unique voice in that unique message that you have, and to be able to communicate it in a way that aligns with who you are as a human being, as a feminine being, and as a business owner. But developing your intuition is definitely a process. It's not something that just happens overnight. If you have gone on a deep spiritual journey yourself, then you definitely know this and definitely are aware with this. But just for anyone who is a little bit new to intuition and living more intuitively, it definitely requires you to be more present and in the moment and to be listening to that inner voice that you have inside of you. So, just a couple light and easy ways that you can start to develop, connect, and start to even just start to hear what your intuition is saying is you can start to connect with that through some simple practices like meditating, like journaling, through breath work, and any other different mindfulness type of practices that are out there, whatever one resonates the best with you. So, and it's just really important for us as business owners and as content creators because it allows you to tap into your creativity and communicate what message it is that you have to share with the world in an authentic way. So, when we're in tune with our intuition, what it has to say, what it's telling us, we're listening to it. It's like a whole flowy process. we can then create content that resonates with our audience and is inspiring to them. So, as a creator and as a business owner, it's just really important to trust your intuition and honor that inner guidance that you have within you. So, if something doesn't feel right when you are making a business decision or when you are making content, then it probably isn't right. And then, of course, like on the flip side of that, if something feels really awesome inside of you and gets you fired up, then definitely follow that intuition, follow the inner voice that is going on inside of you and see where that decision and where that thing takes you. So, developing a strong relationship with your intuition can just lead to so many breakthroughs within your business and also within your content. And a lot of the ways that people are finding our businesses are through our content as well. So you definitely want to keep that in mind because, I mean, your content, I mean, that's a whole other episode, but your content is so important to get to. It's like it is like the physical manifestation of what it is that's inside of you and what it is that you are providing to your clients and what it is that you are providing as a business owner. So to be doing that intuitively is just creates so many magical things for you and for your business. It just feels so much better than following these super masculine structures that are out there. And like there's really nothing wrong with that. A lot of that can create, I mean, it has created so many really successful businesses, but not all of us want to live our lives that way or live our businesses these ways. And so I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you've ever spent forever making a piece of content that you just like you really didn't like making it. Maybe you felt like you had to put it out there and like just in your body, you just like weren't really vibing with it. Maybe you like spent forever like practicing in your head what you were going to say on an Instagram story or what you were going to say on an Instagram live. And like before you even started to create it, it felt off, but you went ahead and created it, you put it out there, and afterwards, you literally just, like, feel like shit. You're, like, putting yourself down so much. And, like, if you've gone ahead and you went out and you did it, you put it out there, you shared that piece of content, if you haven't, like, already deleted it, you probably, like, cringe every time you scroll past it when you're, like, creeping on your feed or anytime you see it pop up. And so, like, when you have these moments, it's so important to recognize that your intuition is sending you a signal. Stop and listen to that signal and realize that what you had planned, what you were doing in that moment is not aligned with the true message that your soul wants you to be sharing. Scrap that original plan that you have and just speak from your heart and from your soul. And I'm sure it will be incredibly so much more valuable for your audience. And you'll be receiving so many messages from people in your community saying just how much it resonated with them. When we are experiencing these creative blocks that happen when we are going through the content creation process, it's often because we are trying to force our creativity rather than just allowing it to flow through us naturally. And when we're in this state, we are so very disconnected from our intuition. And we're not able to tap into that creative potential that we all have brewing up inside of us. So, to be overcoming these creative blocks, you really need to take a step back and just reconnect with yourself and with your body and with that inner voice inside of you. So, you can do that before, like I said, through different mindfulness practices and just like taking a break from your work and do something that brings you joy and do something that brings you up. Don't try to force through the process. Give yourself a break, do something that makes you happy and come back to that content creation piece when you feel happy to do so. Because when we are in high vibe states, our intuition can guide us towards so many creative solutions that we might not have thought of before when we are just trying to force and push things through out of our systems. So, if you are flowing through the journey of being a feminine business owner and a creator, I have a few different tips that you can use to create content that is aligned with your intuition that I practice myself as a content repurposing creatrix. So these are practices that I use when I am creating my own content and then when I'm working on my clients' content as well. So, first of all, definitely listen to your body because our intuition for most people, I would say, is felt within our body. So pay attention to how you feel when you are creating content. Does it feel really light and energizing and flowing, or does it feel really heavy and draining to you? Because recognize this that your body is giving you clues as to whether what you're creating is aligning with who you are, your values, your mission, or not. Also, another tip is to let go of perfectionism. So, when we are too focused on creating the perfect piece of content, we can become incredibly disconnected from our intuition because we are too focused on what other people want from us and what we think other people want from us versus what we truly actually want to share deep down inside. So, remember that your intuition is guiding you towards authenticity and not towards perfection. So allow yourself to make mistakes and trust that your audience is going to appreciate your vulnerability within your content and within your business because that is going to make it so much easier and more authentic for them to resonate with you and who you are and want to work with you as well. Another tip I have is to just get in that flow state. And we all definitely know what this means and know what this feels like for each of ourselves individually. So that flow state is like the mental state that you have where you're just like fully immersed in your work and everything seems to just like come out effortlessly, like everything else around you is just blocked out. It's one of those things where like you look down and then you look back up and you're like, holy shit, 2 hours have gone by, but it just felt like 2 minutes. So when we are in this state, we're connected to our intuition, to our body, to our mission, and so much in alignment. And I'm able to create content that feels so inspiring to consume. So to get into that flow state, try to eliminate distractions around you and recognize what's in your environment when you are getting into those states? Is there a certain time of day that you notice you're more likely to? Is there other things that you have done within that day that have set you up to make you feel really inspired and energized and happy? Just start to practice self-reflection, which is another tip that I have, which is to, take time to reflect on your creation process, what has worked and what hasn't worked for you. This is going to help you be able to like fine tune the ways that you can tap into your intuition and tap into that flow that you have so you can create super high vibe content that everyone is just going to love seeing on your feed and on your page or wherever it is that you are sharing. Also, definitely just stay curious and stay open and put yourself outside of different content boxes. So, our intuition definitely thrives on curiosity and just like going with the flow and trusting the universe, trusting timing, and trusting what is meant to be will be for us. So, like, also just like don't be afraid to explore new topics or try different mediums for putting your content out there and getting out onto different channels. Like, that definitely ties into content repurposing. And, like, the more curious that you are, the more you will be able to tap into your intuition to find what it is that feels really good for you to be creating, because if you only have ever been making content on social media and specifically you've just been making carousels or you haven't really been showing your face or really getting deep about the stuff that you really want to be sharing because maybe you have been letting perfectionism get the best of you or you've been spending too much time creating based on what you think other people want from you. You know, get curious and try different things for talking about different topics, talking about things that you might think no one would want to hear from you about, but really they definitely do because if it's something that you really care about, truly is aligned with you and is very authentic to who you are, then Your audience is going to feel that on the other end when they are consuming that piece of content. And lastly, my biggest tip for you when you are flowing through that journey of being a feminine business owner and a content creator is just to trust yourself. Trust that you have a unique message to share and that your intuition will guide you towards expressing it in a way that's authentic to who you are. Don't be afraid to listen to your inner voice and take those risks to try different things. So, to wrap this juicy topic up, tapping into your feminine flow and accessing your intuition is key to creating content that is aligned with your inner wisdom. So, I want you to remember that creating content that's aligned with your intuition and who you are is a process. It doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time to practice and develop the skill of connecting with your intuition and learning to trust it. So, the more that you trust yourself and the more that you stay connected to your intuition, the more authentic and the more high vibe and fun and flowy your content will become. And you can navigate your process of how you create content with so much confidence and so much clarity and actually enjoy doing it and look forward to doing it. And you'll notice that so many more just natural, authentic ideas of what you want to create are just flowing through you. So that is all that I have for you today for today's episode on how to use your intuition to create high vibe content that your audience just loves to consume. So I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope you have gained some really powerful insights here that will help you in your content creation process. So just remember to trust yourself and let that inner voice that you have guide you towards creating content that feels so fabulous to share with the world. I will talk to you soon in another episode. Bye. I sure hope you enjoyed tuning into this episode and felt all of the content repurposing magical vibes around you. I'll be back with another episode hella soon, but in the meantime, remember that you don't need to come up with new pieces of content from scratch all the time. There's so many juicy bits you've already shared just sitting on your platforms. You, our powerful content creatrix, and all of your creations are solid gold. Until we vibe again on the next episode, make sure to fly on over to Instagram at AnnaSchildVA so you can see in real time how I'm embodying my inner content repurposing creatrix and repurposing from these podcast episodes that you're listening to. And if you want to download my free content creator's guide to repurposing your content with 4 different checklists on how to do it, you can do that on my website at AnnaSchildVA.com. Also, if you prefer to watch these episodes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel over on YouTube for even more content and chill vibes. So until then, I will talk to you soon, you fabulous creator, you. XOXO, Anna Schild.